This is number 12 of Debunking Democrat Lies. And this is about women. I may talk about men and women here, but the Democrats, so we're debunking Democrat lies one at a time. Sense chaser Bob. Bob talks sense. They always act like Republicans hate women or against women, and they're using the abortion issue to do that. But think about what they're doing. They're trying to scare women with abortion. Oh, if you can't have an abortion, think about, they want the women to think, what if they get pregnant and they can't have an abortion? They're trying to scare them into that. So a lot of women, it's easy to get pregnant, so it's easy to get scared of something like that. And they know that. So they're being the psychological warfare. They're playing against women, right? So, but they're using that so they can try to scare women and act like Republicans. Then they're lying and saying Republicans hate women because they love babies. I mean, okay, I'm being sarcastic, but they hate women. But the truth is, they love babies. Not that they want more babies to be. Then they switch that and act like Republicans want to get you pregnant, so you can have more babies. And there's another side to that. It's Democrats who are getting women pregnant. It's specifically black Democrats who are purposely getting women pregnant, and sometimes black women or white women going to. When I say that, I mean there's men having 200 children, black men that have 200 children and more, to try to grow the black population for the racist part of it. I don't want to call out Farrakhan's name right now because he's probably supported Trump, because I mean he has common sense on a lot of things, but they definitely twist some stuff. Farrakhan twists some things. He's really Islamic. He kind of pretends, or maybe, I forget what his beliefs are, buys into believing Christianity and Islam are connected in a way, but they aren't. However, he sides a lot of the racist groups like Farrakhan. I'll say that. A lot of black racist groups. And there are people connected to that movement or closely related to them that where there's guys that try to have 200 babies, right? But the problem is they raise them under that racist ideology. And they want to use women to bring those babies into the world. Republicans teach marriage between one man and one woman. They buy into the biblical philosophy. Now, Farrakhan may teach that too. He may believe in one man and one woman, but there's a lot of racists who just like him because of him being pro-black. And so he is pro-black for sure. And no, I'm not pro-white, just so you know it. Not anti-white either. But I believe in one human race from God, Adam and Eve, and it doesn't make a difference if a white and black man marry each other, or a white and Asian, or a black and Asian, or whatever. What matters is that somebody who believes in Jesus should marry somebody who believes in Jesus, ideally. And if they don't, then they should hope that they convert to Jesus while they're married. But and the Bible teaches that. It teaches that they will probably eventually believe in Jesus if you stick with them and you pray for them to be married. And I don't naturally see why people aren't drawn to God myself. I've always thought, well, if we talk and hang out with them enough, they're going to believe in God eventually. If you're talking about the Bible and what God teaches, what God teaches is beautiful. I mean, I don't see how people don't think it is. How is thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, forgive, have some mercy, be graceful, be respectful, all those kind of things. How is that not beautiful? But who wouldn't want that? Who doesn't want heaven and eternal life in heaven, a perfect place? So, but Republicans teach marriage between one man and one woman. They aren't doing like some of these racist groups on the Democrat that support the Democrat Party and trying to get a woman to carry 200 babies. They're not trying to get 200 different women to carry one man's baby, who's some gang leader or whatever, racist gang leader, doing it for the sake of race, and with the black American drug cartel, or the white drug cartel, the white Nazi Democrat drug cartel. You know, I don't know if too many people buy into the Democrats. Even a lot of gangsters don't. So it varies. But you have those hate groups. We've seen them shown, displayed on camera on TV in the past, and they still exist. I don't know if they could have grown. At this point, you don't see them as much. They haven't been exposed as much. They may have diminished some. Who knows? Hopefully they did. But they're lying. The Republicans, men, first of all, like women more than Democrat men do. Democrat men don't. The problem is, here's the problem. God did this. Now, this is God's fault. God gave everybody hormones. So Democrats make an issue about men that are also attracted to women and not just to their minds. So anytime a man and woman, if they want to date and they're attracted to each other, they spend time together, they get emotionally involved. So then there's a possibility of their attraction getting them to start being more affectionate. When you get more affectionate, that leads to other things. It can lead to pregnancy. We'll put it like that. And then sometimes that can happen. That can easily happen before marriage if you're not real careful. So, but with people that plan to get married, though, that do love each other. And so, how the Democrats have demonized that and act like, I've seen it all kinds of ways on the talk shows. They used to act like, well, the man wants to marry you and he's jealous if you talk to other men. That's what's weird about that. What's weird about her not wanting him to talk to other women? Nothing. That's how it should be. You should be able to not be crazy about it or get overly possessive or jealous, but you're should be looking to buy a house or build a house and live by yourselves in it. 2 people, husband and wife, not share the house with other people. That should be enjoyable. The point is, you want to do that because it's enjoyable. So it's more comforting, relaxing, less stress, less interference. If you want to be intimate, you can without interference. Anyway, the Democrats have somehow demonized all that stuff and act like Republicans hate women. Oh, yeah. Well, the Democrats don't like women that can because they can get pregnant. The Democrats, unless it's somebody special or if it's for a TV show and they can make it look like that they're the best, they'll have people on their TV shows and it's for show. It's for the ratings, it's for money, it's to win more people over, confuse people a little more because they really don't like people having babies. That's the Democrats. And the Democrats, they like to promote the gangs that pimp. They like gangs that pimp women out on drugs and everything else. They like that. They're not against it. They'll pretend to be in the right. If they're putting a cop show on or something, they might pretend to be against it. Or if they're talking to Steve Wilkos, he pretends to be against it, but his policies support it. If he's still voting Democrat, So the abortions helps, having abortion anytime you want, that helps the pimps. That helps men that don't want to pay child support. And, I don't agree with all the child support laws to the degree the way they do it. You should give the man a chance to do it on his own first and then have him make up for lost years. That makes sense. Except in certain cases, maybe. But I hadn't thought directly back through that. But Democrats don't like women who like men. Democrats, here's the bigger issue. Democrats don't like men. Period. They don't like Christian men. They don't like Christians. So we're getting into that. But they don't like Christians, and they don't like the fact that the Republican men, a lot of them, or if they're not Christian, they're at least acceptable or friendly to Christians. And that's what they don't like about them. Because there's something to do with when there's men Christians, they're scared that'll draw more women to be Christian. And it probably does. They might have account. They say they're sophisticated with fact checks, real fact checks that matter, not ones meant to silence your speech. But they're real with statistics, and they lie about statistics. But they're good at keeping up with data and having special ways to check data. They just usually skew it all. But they probably have account, and they're realizing, look at all these women becoming Christians because these men, and vice versa. There's a lot of men that might be drawn to Christianity because a woman, the respect they saw from a woman may have showed some of God's peace. And it's not just about the words and the faith words, but it reveals God's peace to them, his holiness and peace. And so they don't have to be perfect. People have faults, but they still showed some reverence to God, and that transferred to people seeing God's peace and experiencing God's peace through the Holy Spirit. That happened. So there probably are statistics out there that even Christians didn't know about, but atheists in the Democrat Party know about that, and they want to keep men and women separated because it helps them lead them to be more spiritually minded when they're in relationships. Some of them, not all of them. And sometimes find religion. Real religion. I say Christian religion is real religion. And I could get kicked off for saying that. But that's a shame. That's my opinion. I'm supposed to be able to hold my opinion. It's not just an opinion, though. That opinion has evidence. Anyway, I'm not going to say much more about it. I don't have any. This is one subject I didn't have specific things on my mind to talk about, and I could keep rambling and come up with point after point after point. But the bottom line is, here's one point I do remember. The Democrat Party side, when they get women on drugs. We'll put it like that. They've gotten them on fentanyl and gotten them killed. They've gotten them killed by pimps. They've gotten them killed. Women die having abortions. They won't mention that. They want to block me from saying that they can die from having abortions. If you can die from having a delivery and they're going up and cutting the baby out inside you, you can die from having an abortion. So, I don't know what the statistics are. I'm saying you check on it. You study yourself. Look. They want to take me off for saying that. But what they don't do is also, here's how they hate women in a sense. Hate mothers. Because if you hate mothers, women are mothers. Women are not fathers, they're mothers. And so if you hate mothers, you hate women. If you hate fathers, you're not hating on women except that you're taking their help away. So you're not helping women. You're not loving women by hurting their fathers. You're not doing that. The Democrats aren't helping by hurting their fathers. They're not helping the child either. But no child is helped by the Democrat policies. No mother is helped by Democrat policies. No wannabe mother is helped by Democrat policies. No person who doesn't want children now, but may change her mind later and want children, is not helped by Democrat policies. They're not loving women. They're only loving certain kinds of women. That's a point I wanted to make. They're only wanting certain women, and mostly they love atheist women only. They love women who hate heterosexual people. Basically. They love women who, even if they're heterosexual and they have husbands, they love them if they are promoting policies and laws that only help homosexual people and hurt heterosexual people. Or help pimps and hurt families. They want those kind of laws. And it's not just about abortion. It has to do the marriage laws. They have marriage laws that do that. They're putting preachers in jail if they won't perform a wedding for a same-sex marriage, stuff like that. Or if they hear now and then, it's going to further extremes where they want to put them in jail if they speak against it. So that started happening under President Obama. So even before him, it was already a threat, and there were a few stories of it. It just increased under President Obama. So, and you don't hear about that, but that's not fair. So how many other people did the preachers that got put in jail for not marrying same-sex weddings? They're licensed to administer the wedding and make it official. How many marriages of people that wanted them to marry them couldn't do it because they're in jail. I don't know how long they stayed in jail. Doesn't seem like it would be long. But the Democrat Party is not helping women. They're helping women in power. They're helping a lot of people in power. They're not helping the poor people. They're helping enslave poor people to gangs and violence in their communities. They're putting more violence in their communities, more drugs. They're helping more women have pimps and well, there's women that pimp women. There's even men that pimp men. No, male prostitutes now. So, but they're helping more women have drug dealers as their boyfriends, and not just one, but like I forgot what you call it when the Mormons marry. You have lots of wives. Polygamy. So they have gangs. They're helping them be like polygamists, and then they can't date who they want to. They have to be loyal to that one leader. It might be a drug dealer, it might be a pimp drug dealer kind of sort of thing, pimping them out to drugs in a sense. And they might have freedom to go hustle, freedom to do what they want. So when they talk about women's rights, they're talking about, this is a point here I wanted to touch on. They're talking about like Madonna having the right to strip on stage. That's my rights. That's the rights we're fighting for women's rights. That's not helping women with children. That's not helping children to see that on stage. It's not prematurely, It's not helping it's not helping morality. It's not helping a woman have to evaluate her whole spiritual perspective. It's teaching pride. There's a lot of pride, and there's greedy women. Women get more. Think about this. Women can get their way more than men can. So they can become greedy and want to have more. There's probably more of them that want to have men killed that get in their way. Or women killing other women. There may be a lot more women killers than you think. But it does certainly seem that there's more men that have that male ego pride, and they go out and want to hurt somebody or take what they want and be that hit people over the head and steal from them. There's more thieves like that amongst men. I'm pretty sure that's probably true. But I've seen women like that myself. I mean, I've been around the block, but I'm not speaking from a average person's perspective. I've been around multicultural. I've been, through the shelter services. I've been through all that kind of stuff, and I know gangs. I don't know them. I don't know who's a gangster and that kind of stuff. But I've been in gang areas. I've lived in gang areas, worst parts of town, because I'm not wealthy. Still not wealthy. And also so I ruined my credibility here because I've had some experimented with drugs and stuff. So I've seen the worst. Trust me. But I know what's out there. I know how the violence works out, and I know the ladies out there don't have much freedom. They're not allowed to talk to anybody except outside of their groups, pretty much. So those groups, pretty much, I would say their women are their biggest income, so they keep the women. I don't know if they're pimping them out. I've never seen that directly. Well, I have to think real hard about that. But I just know that what I've seen, it seems that in a lot of the inner city neighborhoods, that women don't leave those neighborhoods and never go anywhere else. Right? They're always stuck in the same place. And that's probably because it's extortion. They probably owe the people money. They owe the gangs money. And these are drug addict women. And so it's not always the case. But in the worst areas, I guess, when you have around crack cocaine and stuff, it's like that. So, but I don't know the story because it's mostly don't speak, boy. I'm not allowed to talk and find out anything. So when I've been through those areas, I'm not allowed to talk and find out anything. And I respect that because I don't want to get somebody hurt asking questions. I don't want to get them in trouble. So that's, frankly, Most of the time it was don't speak white, boy. But that's where the government, I'd say the Democrat side of government threw drugs on black neighborhoods. I think they did. They threw crack cocaine there, and they threw speed into white neighborhoods. And I think my time is about up. I did not mean to go over 20 minutes. But that's a touchy subject. But that's the thing that neither the Democrat or Republican Party wants to touch on properly. And we've all been brainwashed by fake science on the drug issue. And people should be protected from theft, extortion, and slavery, and violence, regardless of whether they have an addiction problem or not. And women do tend to end up being the biggest victims of that because they're the biggest money makers. So, and then the guys like to take chances and deal the most and be kind of cocky about it, but they don't let their women. They like to keep the same women around and don't let them talk to who they want to. They don't get to talk to nice guys. And some of them don't want to. A lot of them don't want to, but mostly they're not allowed to. So that's Democrats promoting that kind of lifestyle.